The Manipulators audit. Again, the Manipulators audit, deconstructing cognitive siege patterns. The DDoS attack on truth. To understand Alex Murdaugh, you have to understand the high frequency lying style. In a forensic audit, we look at the rate of failure. Alex didn't just lie, he flooded the zone. He utilized a style of deception designed to overwhelm the sensory processing of his peers and victims. When you are hit by a high volume of conflicting information at a rapid pace, the human brain undergoes a logic short circuit. You stop verifying individual facts because the sheer volume of noise makes verification impossible. This is a cognitive DDoS attack. By the time his law partners or his family could process one inconsistency, he had already layered 3 more on top of it. He wasn't just hiding money, he was hiding the truth behind a wall of mental exhaustion. Part 2. The architecture of the Southern Firewall. 100 years of immunity requires a specific social infrastructure. The Murdaughs didn't just live in the Low Country, they were the Low Country's legal infrastructure. They weaponized regional loyalties, Southern good old boy codes to act as a security protocol. If you were a local, you were taught that loyalty to the name was loyalty to the region. This is the logic of the firewall. By framing any external investigation as an attack on their way of life, the family created a system where internal dissident was viewed as treason. This effectively silenced victims and whistleblowers for 3 generations. The code wasn't about honor. Again, the code wasn't about honor. It was a structural barrier designed to prevent any forensic audit of their power. Part 3. The collapse of the cognitive shield. Every structural failure has a point of no return. For the Murdaughs, it was the moment the financial red flags became too heavy for the cognitive dissonance to carry. We must connect the dots between the historical family immunity and the specific mental gymnastics required to ignore $10 million in missing funds. For years, the community and the firm saw the cracks in the foundation, but the cognitive seeds forced them to look away. They chose the comfort of legacy over reality of the audits. But logic is indifferent to names. When the boat crashed and the double homicide finally forced the world to look at the blueprints, the entire century-old structure underwent a catastrophic moral reckoning. The mind games were over. The structural failure was complete. Conclusion? The Murdaugh family legacy serves as a clinical warning. It shows us that systematic deceit is a self-terminating asset. You can maintain a mental siege for a decade or even a century, but you cannot outrun the math of a moral audit. Remember this: the patterns of manipulation stay the same even when the players change. Again, the patterns of manipulation stay the same even when the players change. Power thrives in the dark, but it dissolves under the light of deep logic. Audit complete.